let's get to the real issue here, okay? The Chinese balloon.
Over the Chinese surveillance balloon. It's floating high over Montana. Mola Lenghi is on the scene in Billings with the latest. Good morning, Mola.
Good morning, George. National security officials say they are monitoring this Chinese surveillance balloon that traveled from Alaska through Montana here and is still on the move. Pentagon officials telling ABC News they decided not to shoot the aircraft down, but they are leaving all options on the table.
This morning, a suspected Chinese...
Dude, how the f can one balloon just absolutely eviscerate America's like air defenses? I actually don't get it. They've been tracking for a couple days, but it's wild. They're like, oh man, the debris will fall in to, you know, areas and harm people potentially. That's why they're like not trying to hit it. But I don't know. We have like $7 gazillion in defense. We can't take down a balloon. What the f?
Surveillance balloon hovering over the northern United States for days. The balloon seen here flying over Billings, Montana, where it forced a ground stop at the city's airport, halting all commercial and general aviation flights in order to clear the airspace. It's roughly the size of 3 buses, with a technology bay attached beneath it, believed to be carrying high-resolution cameras, according to a senior U.S. official. Sources describe it as an aircraft designed to travel in a purposeful path, one that includes a number of sensitive U.S. sites.
These are balloons that can be used for surveillance, for Earth observation.
I mean, I feel like the way they're talking about this balloon is doing 2 things. One, it's making me feel like we ain't shit. That's number 1. And number 2, I feel like they're going to be like, this is why we need $700 more gazillion dollars. We were going to donate a bunch of money to like the Mr. Beast style cataract surgery, but instead we're going to do like anti-balloon measures. You know what I mean? We need to do $700 gazillion dollars for anti-Chinese balloon measures. This is an area of weakness for us.
But they can also be used for military purposes. In this case, perhaps the Chinese were looking to collect high-fidelity imagery of sensitive U.S. sites where they may have been intercepting communications, but they also could have been testing U.S. air defenses.
A senior
China said it was a weather balloon, by the way. Wait, really? What happened? It went astray?
Defense officials saying they are confident the balloon was sent by the Chinese government. And this isn't the first instance this has happened in recent years.
Once the balloon was detected, the U.S. government...
This guy's awesome, dude. Brigadier General Pat Ryder. We've tactically ascertained the balloon, is overhead, coming in from clear skies, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure, hoorah, we're going to take this balloon down.
Acted immediately to protect against the collection of sensitive information.
The Pentagon, now closely tracking the balloon, says it currently poses no physical threat to civilians, commercial aviation, or U.S. military assets. Still, on Wednesday, defense officials say, as a precaution, the U.S. Air Force mobilizing F-22 fighter jets in case the order was made to shoot down the balloon.
Another really funny part about this coverage has been like, guys, this is our top secret air base that has all the nuclear silos. It would be really fucked up if the Chinese knew how to speak English and tuned into the broadcast to find out that the Maelstrom Air Force Base in Montana is housing the nuclear silos. I mean, I'm too stupid. I'm sure there's something else going on. It just comes across very funny when they're like, we cannot let the Chinese look at this, and then posting a photo of the base itself. If they see this right now, this photo in my hand, we are fucked. Response from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China. They say, according to media reports, a Chinese unmanned airship has been spotted in the U.S. airspace. Do you have any comment? The airship is from China. It's a civilian airship used for research, mainly meteorological purposes. Affected by the westerlies and with limited self-steering capability, the airship deviated far from its planned course. The Chinese side regrets this unintended entry into the airship in the U.S. airspace due to force majeure. The Chinese side will continue communicating with the U.S. side and properly handle this unexpected situation caused by force majeure. I believe it. Not because I glaze up China or whatever, but I believe it because they didn't bomb it. If this was actually a spy balloon, they would have blown it up and then you would have never heard about it. And then people that posted it on TikTok, they wouldn't have been killed or anything, obviously, but they would have just quietly dealt with it. Do you think China doesn't do espionage inside of U.S. borders? Of course they do. They do it all the fucking time. And guess what? We do it nonstop as well. If this was something that caused legitimate harm, they would have just dealt with it without you hearing about it. That's usually my assessment. Because flying over U.S. territory or just, flight paths are always internationally communicated amongst foreign adversaries. Like, for example, when Russia is fighting in Syria and the United States is fighting in Syria, they literally tell one another all the time. It's protocol to tell exactly where your planes are going. The United States military knows exactly where the Russian Air Force is going, and the Russian Air Force knows exactly where the U.S. is going. Even before, for example, when Donald Trump blew up the fucking base in Afghanistan, I believe, was it? No, when he utilized weapons in Syria, and there was a Russian air base or a base that like Russians were using, they told them ahead of time, and they left the base before it got blown up. So if they're doing actual espionage, we wouldn't have fucking known about it. And by we, I mean us in the public. The American government would know about it, but this is the tweet counter that's popping off. Wow, I can't believe that China accidentally floated a balloon over the U.S. Here's a totally unrelated map. Didn't we just facilitate another deal with the Philippines? The unsinkable airbase, as they call it, which is also known as an island. What the fuck? Xi Jinping, let's spy on the U.S. PLA General, yes, sir. We have many advanced surveillance options. May I recommend a satellite or a radar stealth drone? Xi Jinping, no. Giant balloon. General, yes, sir. Xi Jinping, make sure it's big enough that everyone can see it. Sorry, dude. The Pentagon says you're wrong. Watch. Pentagon says U.S. rejects China's claims that the spy balloon is not being used for surveillance. Okay. So they're just posting L's then. Is that what the Pentagon's doing now? They're doing the, you guys defunded the police and you defunded the U.S. military. And that's why we can't take this goddamn balloon down. Yeah, the Pentagon has famously never lied about a foreign adversary's actions before, of course. The U.S. State Department just announced Blinken is postponing his trip to China as a result of a Chinese weather balloon accidentally drifting over to U.S. airspace. Okay, that actually is shocking. I'm not gonna lie. I'm of the mindset that they are definitely communicating. The Chinese military and the Chinese government and the United States government are communicating at this very moment. Based on its likely prior path, the U.S. would have first seen the balloon as it approached Alaskan airspace at least 48 hours prior, so the U.S. made a deliberate decision not to announce the balloon for 2 full days as they watched it drift down toward the lower 48. Also, if they wanted to fucking blow it up, why didn't they blow it up over Alaska? The U.S. also would have almost certainly known this was a weather balloon that posed zero threat almost as soon as they detected it. They also are well aware that weather balloons have little means of charting their own course. Thus, there is no valid reason for the feigned outrage by U.S. officials since it's obvious even a child what happened was both unambiguously unintentional and wasn't a threat. So why all the theatrics? The only purpose of this overly dramatized performance serves is to purposely further stoke the fires of public consent for the war with China. I mean, yeah, I see that. China has every AmeriFat Facebook feed looking like this. Yeah, they're like, I see the balloon, brother. Here's what I said. As soon as this popped off, my first and immediate reaction was, why would China need a surveillance balloon? One, they have satellites, so that's number one, which are pretty fucking powerful. And two, they have TikTok. Why the fuck would they send a balloon that everyone can see over U.S. territory deliberately? This is my sniper, dog. Yeah, Marjorie, get in there. Get in there, Margarine. Shoot that fucking balloon down. So listen, that my analysis on the situation is similar to what that Twitter thread was, which is like pretty sure it's not like a serious spy balloon, especially because like they're not getting any actionable intel from a fucking spy balloon that they can't get with like by planes or satellites in general. And if they want more information, you're capping, but like they already have this technology. Why the fuck would they just use a balloon, dude? What are you, stupid? Not only that, but if they want personal information, well, they got TikTok, so they got that covered too. So I assume it's more to just like agitate Americans and be like, the Chinese are embarrassing us with their weather balloon. Spy balloon. They're laughing at us and they're spying on us, that sort of thing. But yeah, first, there's a long history of using balloons to get to the U.S. The general concept isn't new. Japan used highly inaccurate balloon bombs to try and start fires. One incident killed 6 people, but it was declared a secret and hushed up. The Army has been experimenting with high-altitude balloons for comms relay, ISR, and other missions. Although it's open question if the U.S. would do direct overflights during peacetime, much remains classified. It's cheaper. That's the only reason why you'd use a balloon, because it's cheaper, right? It can stay in the air for longer. It's cheaper, that sort of thing. It should be noted that modern balloons, unlike their World War II Japanese counterparts, have some control in their direction. The computers on board can pick the best altitude to get to where they want to go or come as close as possible. This is how they steer. There you go. It's not any different than what I was saying. Yeah, it's less energy dependent and it can stay afloat for a longer time. It's also cute. Yeah, there you go. But more importantly, yes, they can ride the currents. They can analyze what the wind currents are going to be and deflate, inflate appropriately, I guess. So I wasn't off base on my assessment or my assumption, rather. Also, on top of that, it should be noted that modern balloons, unlike they can go wherever they want to go. Shooting down balloons with conventional weapons is a tricky business. Modern missile systems aren't meant to shoot at them. First, their IR signature is minimal, so you can scratch AIM 9X off the list to start. Then there's the altitude. These balloons can hang at over 90,000 feet. The best U.S. interceptor, the F-22, tops out at a little above 60K feet. Problem is, even if they go there, shooting it down is next to impossible. The gap in altitude is sufficiently large that guns aren't even an option. Neither is AIM 9X. AIM 120s are radar-guided missiles. However, because the balloon has no Doppler compared to the wind and clouds around it, systems tend not to see it. Modern weapon systems are designed to ignore things that don't move, like chaff, clouds, or balloons as a side effect. AIM 120 wasn't really designed to engage targets at 90,000 feet either. The control surfaces don't function as well as such high altitude. I feel like it's a double bind. You get to anger people and tell people that like China is embarrassing us and spying on us, even though they fucking are already, obviously. But this time they're spying on us with like this thing that you can see. It's like tangible, you know? And it's close, but so far at the same time. And also our current systems are not designed to shoot down these balloons. So we just need more money to fight against China. Sorry, guys, you will never be getting healthcare. We need to make sure that we have anti-balloon technology that we're working on. MIM-104 Patriot missiles can hit things at high altitude, but again, not meant to hit things that have no relative motion to the wind. Directed energy weapons might work, but we don't have those in service for this mission. This isn't the first time China has sent an ISR balloon over U.S. territory, according to the U.S. defense official. They also claim that the U.S. isn't shooting it down because of concerns about where the wreckage would land. It's also worth noting in this region of the U.S. where some of its Minuteman III ICBM silos are located, countries get really twitchy when you start parking military hardware over their nuclear arsenals. This is part of why the Chinese ambassador may have gotten a summons. The fact that it was clearly visible to people on the ground in Billings and that it appeared to be as big as the moon suggested the balloon is either huge or that it's a high altitude low enough that engagement might be possible. Yeah, they spotted it over Alaska and then Montana where there's no fucking people. Yeah, they spotted it over Alaska. They could have just shot it literally as it was like flying over Alaska. A second balloon has hit the tower. Stop! A high-altitude surveillance balloon was detected and its movements are being actively tracked by NORAD. Canadians are safe and Canada is taking steps to ensure the security of its airspace, including the monitoring of a potential second incident. A second balloon! What is that song? 99 Luftballons. It's a jam. It's a banger. But why are they using a balloon? I work with satellite data. We have sats with 1 meter ground resolution and a revisit rate for 4 days. Why in God's name would you use a balloon when a satellite would give you the same intel and be completely undetectable? That's a fantastic question that I do not know the answer to. Because you're operating under the assumption, even though this is supposed to be like the reasonable person, okay? You're operating under the assumption that China is spying with a fucking balloon instead of a fucking satellite. That's the problem, which is the reason why I stated that like it would be silly for them to send a fucking balloon that has significantly less control over its movements over U.S. airspace instead of just using satellite imagery. And then also on top of that, like fuck the satellite, that they can like get personal information too if they want to. Can we pretend that the Chinese spy balloons in the night sky are like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now. So yeah, I will do that. Anyway.
In regards to our announcement last night regarding the high altitude surveillance,
it's just funny because they're like, this is definitely an act of, aggression from the Chinese, but also not bad enough that like, it would threaten American citizens. And also simultaneously, our weapons are very powerful and powerful enough certainly to take down this balloon. But we're not going to do it right now, even though it is certainly a threat. It's like perfectly crafted. The Pentagon's messaging is perfectly crafted, where it's a shameless act. It's a brazen act that is like supposed to instill nationalistic fervor amongst Americans. But it's also, because we're so powerful, it's not a threat. Do you get it? But also you should still be angry because like they are making fun of us almost. But we're not going to put it down because it's not that big of a threat. But it's still a threat, but it's not that big of a threat.
Again, we currently assess that the balloon does not present a military or physical threat to people on the ground at this time, and we'll continue to monitor and review options. First of all, we are aware of the PRC's statement. However, the fact is we know that it's a surveillance balloon, and I'm not going to be able to be more specific than that.
Yeah, just take our word for it. It's certainly surveilling. What is it surveilling? Is it surveilling the weather? Who cares? Why you got to mess with Target's limited edition Tesla?
I know Hassan doesn't like him, I'm pretty sure.
It's an eco round here this time for
I have, so Hassan came to my apartment and he noticed it, but one of my friends told me about it. But basically, at some point, I think it was Tesla, they sold like this limited.
He's here, ladies and gentlemen. He's here. He's here.
Here I am.
He's here.
What?
Not really.
People are gonna start thinking.
Here you go.
Have you lost weight? Last time I hugged you, there was more to squeeze. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, I had to look more like a fucking thought for you to come back, dude.
You cut your hair. You're starting to look like a twink.
Yeah, that's my goal. So we are currently in the process of, dude, we jumped to like 11 different things here before you got here.
Stalling. Oh, I heard there was a
wasn't.
Chinese balloon.
Yeah, there's a Chinese balloon.
Which, by the way,
definitely a spying balloon. Okay, they're spying on us.
Well, okay. I went to pro-China Hoscord to get the take on this.
What did they say?
Oh, well, clearly they were very happy about this spy balloon that was happening.
Dude, first of all, like,
it's pro-China Hoscord. Is
probably the only good take that Hoscord has. That and like takes about trains and stuff.
Dude,
like,
no, Hoscord, like Xi Jinping has a higher approval rating in Hoscord than he does in China. Like, it's unbelievable. Like,
I mean,
you go in there and like, it's like, holy shit.
There's a lot of people, I think, like in Hoscord too. I do have a lot of people who like don't live in America, so understandably are very anti-American.
Oh, they're definitely anti-American.
So they just like kind of see China as like the other multipolar power that maybe
could save us,
could possibly just like, I don't know, push back a little bit against America. So that's probably the other reason.
That's where Hoscord and I clash on. Oh, there it is.
Most dangerous country and threat to democracy? What? You did not say that.
I absolutely said that.
You said China is a threat to democracy?
Look, I'll be honest.
How?
99% of the things that I say just get people, I just rile people up in there. So I'll just like go in there and drop like fortify NATO and just like piss a bunch of people off, or like come in with like, man,
you just want attention
like
so
this
bad.
This morning, a flight attendant, I said, man, because the flight attendant like thanked the troops on our flight. I was like on the phone trying to fucking like organize my ride, and I couldn't hear because they kept thanking the troops like over and over again, and people were clapping too. They were like, it got an applause. And then it went from thanking the troops to, we are praying that you make your connections on time. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm trying to talk on the phone.
Dude, I fucking love America. It's literally the dumbest country on the planet, dude. What you just described right there is such a stupid fucking thing.
Even the troops don't like it being thanked. The troops don't enjoy it.
Yeah, the troops are like, get me on my goddamn flight, motherfucker.
They don't enjoy being thanked for their service. A lot of troops don't enjoy that, from what I've understood.
I'll change Austin's mind about Xi. Oh, true. How does this make you feel? Hold on.
Look.
How does this make you feel about
Xi? It makes me feel some type of way.
Yeah?
But I feel like, I don't know. He's a little too muscular for my type. Got a little too much muscle.
You can fix him.
Oh, I could totally fix him.
Yeah. Austin Hoscord trolling. Austin telling Hoscord China is a threat to democracy, putting his phone on vibrate and putting it in his... Okay, dude.
I do. That is a fucking good one.
Okay.
That is so good.
We got to get back to this balloon, okay? China is a clear and present danger to American democracy.
True.
And there's nothing we can do about this fucking balloon.
While we won't get into specifics in regards to the exact location, I can tell you that the balloon continues to move eastward and is currently over the center of the continental United States.
Latency satellites. Also, satellites can't cover the same region for extended periods of time. Certainly, that is true. Obviously, if satellites operated exactly like balloons could, they wouldn't use weather balloons, I guess.
You look really good, Hassan. You know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck's
Really
this
good. I
coming
like
from?
the hair.
Why are you
looking
gassing
lean.
me up?
I don't know. I just thought I'd say what I was thinking. No homo though.
Okay.
Still not my
Thank
type.
God. All right, good. I mean, holy shit. I thought you were.
You look good, bro.
I thought you were being gay for a second.
Yeah.
Chill, dude.
Yeah, no, sorry. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I think it's harmless, but why don't we shoot it down? $500 billion in military budget, and we're getting fucking finessed by a balloon.
It's also not easy to shoot down. We talked about it already, like, because conventional weapons are what our defense systems are capable of, like, tracking down, whether it be thermal imaging or like honing missiles, like and a balloon like this doesn't. It just goes along with the wind. So we don't really have any, I guess we don't have adequate countermeasures against the balloon, which I don't believe. Like,
That's just crazy to
we
me.
have like gazillions of dollars dedicated to defense.
Just send
I
a
don't
fucking
believe it.
vehicle up and just like poke it or
No,
something.
it's
Just
too
like pop it
fucking
with a
high.
needle.
No, it's
Where
too
is
high
it?
up.
We can send shit to space. Is it higher than space?
I mean,
Like, come on, just send a rocket up there and like time it just a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah, they owned us. Okay, it's safe to admit. Okay, if the Pentagon is talking like this, I'm just gonna say it. They fucking owned us. China owned us again. Another dub for the
PRC
CCP.
at multiple levels.
I
and in terms of specific locations, I'm not going to be able to go into specific locations again, other than to say it's moving eastward at this time.
You said that this is violating our airspace, so
I'm thinking of like the funniest way to fight against this balloon, and it's like maybe we just send another balloon up there with like a rope attached to it, with like some kind of fucking explosive.
We should capture their balloon.
No, with like an explosive ordnance on top of our balloon, and we just like kind of run around with the fucking like kite runner.
No, I think we need.
We just run around and manipulate our balloon to try to get it to hit their fucking balloon. You know what I mean?
Why don't we take their balloon hostage? Yeah, I think we need to capture it and investigate it.
Okay,
I really
why
do.
not take it down?
Yeah, so clearly as we assess options and considering the size of the payload on this, looking at the potential for debris and the impact on civilians on the ground or property damage, again, running through the various factors.
Wait, I mean that's significant, Austin.
It's a balloon.
Wait, what do you mean? There's like literally, there's a payload underneath it. There's like a satellite type thing underneath it. So if you blow that up,
okay,
or if it has any sort of like anti-missile systems inside of it, then you could literally reorient the trajectory of a missile and then like have it fucking, fall into, like I said earlier, the Mall of America, God forbid, an American cultural landmark could be destroyed as a consequence of this. And you are so careless in the way that you are.
I didn't even think about the fact that things have to fall like that.
Yeah.
I guess that's gravity.
What did you thought you just blow it up and then it just fucking disperses?
Well, I thought it was just a balloon.
No, there's something underneath it. It's carrying something. If it's just a balloon, no one.
Thought it was a balloon.
You thought it was like Balloon Boy? It's just a balloon.
Just a balloon floating on its own, just out there in
That's
space.
awesome.
I represent the average American. Like most people don't even know there's something underneath that. I promise you. Most people think it's just a balloon because that's all we see. I don't see the payload underneath it.
Here is Jesse Waters saying pretty much what you said about the balloon.
Why not shoot it over Montana? Right. It hits a barn. Let's say it hits Fred's barn. Fred's famous. In Montana, there's 2 people that live in Montana. That is your barn.
Fuck, dude. I made the same joke. I hate this. I literally verbatim said, like, there's only 2 people that live in Montana. Who the fuck is it going to hit?
This just in, person you hate makes really good take.
No,
shoot it down over
that's
Montana.
Bullshit. That's my joke, dude.
I think
fucking asshole.
It's a great idea.
No, literally, I said this yesterday. I said there's only 2 people living in Montana, like the same number too. Fuck.
That's so fucked up because that's a
barn that it lands
that's a
on.
red state.
The feds reimburse you the money.
That's a Republican stronghold. How do they feel about that?
They don't give a fuck.
You know?
You can live off that. You do Good Morning America. You do Fox and Friends. That
Some guy in Montana's like, hey, wait a second, that's me.
they say a high-altitude Chinese spy balloon.
They don't need no spy balloon. They got Joe Biden himself.
That's the average person's take. This motherfucker's literally. That's so funny, dog. You're on TikTok. Like, what are you saying right now? You posted this on TikTok. They have everything they need to know. If they wanted to pinpoint literally things you don't know about yourself, China could technically know them. just by looking at your fucking algo.
I mean, Biden's not even president right now, if you're really paying attention.
Yeah, that's true.
Trump is ahead of he's ahead of the military. Biden's just a puppet.
Yeah.
I mean, you really got to pay attention. Wake up, people. Seriously. The deep state goes a lot deeper.
Okay, are you ready for this, though?
I'm ready. Oh, no.
Here's what's going on with the Chinese balloon.
Do you think the $1 billion Chinese investment into Hunter Biden was because he was a wonderful investor? You know, all those incredible crackheads on Wall Street. You know, there's lots of them, folks. The Chinese, you know, they don't do any diligence.
Okay, I'll be honest. I feel like he's imitating his dad more to become more appealing.
It's so lame.
I feel like
dude.
he's trying to.
I think your food is officially here.
Is it?
I know he ain't calling other people crackheads. Yeah, that's like real weird because he's got the fucking coke mouth every time he talks.
Incredible.
He's like, he's gumming like half the fucking time, and he's like, "Oh, crackhead! Is it crackhead?" What do you mean, bro?
Crackheads on Wall Street. You know, there's lots of them, folks. The Chinese,
there's lots of them, folks.
Crackheads on Wall Street. Crackheads on Wall Street. Incredible crackheads on Wall Street.
He doesn't even do a good Trump impersonation.
Yeah, I can do a better one.
Yeah, you can. Which is a huge insult to.
If some of this stuff was even like 1% of this was happening under my father and it involved me, it would be a global story.
Try to run for president.
Non-ending. It would never end. Incessant bombardment. And that would be right. That's what we should be doing. But no, we're going to sit there.
He's going to try to run for president.
The rest of the world is going to watch.
He's setting himself up right now.
He would literally be the lowest approval rating motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah, I know, but that's what he's doing right now.
He would lose to Kamala Harris.
I know, but that's what he
that's how bad he is. The Democratic Party would like literally win every vote, I think. Because the Republicans would be like, yeah, I'm not voting. I'm not voting, dog. I'm staying home for this one. Oh, yeah. He's saying if he was Hunter Biden, like he's saying involving me, like if there was something similar to the Hunter Biden laptop involving me, then people would like nonstop attack my father.
But no, we're going to sit there, observe. The rest of the world is going to watch us be impotent. They're going to watch us continue to be weak. They're going to wonder what else.
Yeah, I clocked that too. Does he have new dentures or veneers or something? Yeah. You can hear the whistling. I think he got new veneers, probably. Bro, he is so fucking coked up.
Cheek filler.
It's so funny. I mean, I've been avoiding this for the past hour, but I think it's time to finally watch this fucking balloon go down. I've been sad. You know, this balloon had a wonderful life. You know, a wonderful 48-hour lifespan, basically. Let's take a look.
I am checking around on several different websites.
Content warning, trigger warning. You know, this balloon is about to go down, okay? He's about to blammo. If you're a fan of balloons, or if you have some, audio sensory issues as a consequence, like balloons popping, from what I understand, can be triggering in general for those on the spectrum. This is the biggest balloon pop. You know what I mean?
Here we're checking with the Associated Press. We're checking Twitter on several different official. No. I believe it just happened there. That was it. Live, raw, and unfiltered. It appears that China spy balloon has now been shot down over the Atlantic Ocean. You are taking a live look here, live, raw, and unfiltered, as that balloon appears to be heading downward after it has been shot down.
So sad. So we've been
watching this all throughout the day here on Live Now from Fox. If you have been here with us, you've been watching, honestly, at this point, just to see exactly what happens. And it appears that we have now gotten our answer. It looks as though it has been shot down there right over the Atlantic. Not sure on the exact location, but as we mentioned, it is coming down as we speak there.
Yeah, now it's 99. It's no longer 99 Luftballons. It's now 98 balloons, you know?